Good evening everyone, welcome to another tournament stream. Tonight we will be streaming day 2 of the EU Realistic Tournament. I'm just waiting for YouTube to actually catch up with me so that I can pause the stream, because I do keep an eye on the chat. But please note that there is a 5-minute delay on the stream. That is everything to do so that people can't see each other's lineups, and just to keep it fair really. So let's go to the actual game with a little bit of a border behind it, because I only have one screen, so I can't do full screen stuff. And now we just wait for the room invite, which should be up any minute now. There we go. That's like perfect timing, isn't it? So, ooh, that is a tough matchup to start with. R2K versus FBI straight off in this best of 3. But we face a double elimination system here, so the first one to be knocked out here will be the loser of this match, which then also, if they also lose the next match. Because basically you now have these two teams and two other teams that go against each other. And the losers of that face each other, and the loser of that match is actually knocked out. And the winners of these two matches face each other, and then one of them is through to the grand finals. And the loser of that winner's match goes on to the winner of the loser's match, to make it sound very simple and not complicated at all. And they will, the winners of those will face off in a grand finals, which is the best of 7. So then we get more matches. Please let me know if the sound is alright and all of that. We just have to wait for the tournament battles to actually start. We still have a little less than 4 minutes to go for that. But both teams are steadily coming in. They still have plenty of time. Overall, though, it's been a very interesting weekend. The realistic tournament, it is weird. It's just weird. I can't put it in any other way. And it has a lot to do with just the fact that people, you don't actually see a tank unless you're looking at them. So someone can be shooting you in the ass and you won't have noticed them then. They won't appear on the minimap. You just have to see them, actually. And that made for quite some funny situations throughout the weekend. Of course, we earlier today had the finals on the Asia server where King took it home, which was quite cool to see, but there was also some problems. The game was massively lagging and crashing for some people. The actual last match of the grand finals, Cats, the clan that King was fighting against, only had 6 players because they just didn't. His Lion's game crashed. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. Lion's game crashed and he just couldn't get it back in time to ready up before they actually started the battle, so that sucked. So now we just have to wait 2.5 more minutes. Both teams are there though, and we see that RTK has raided up with 2 215Bs, 3 E50Ms, a T22 and an E5. E5 is a tank that has been surprisingly used a lot in NA, where we saw little to no E50Ms, so that was kind of weird to see as well, because the lineups across the servers were so different, and we don't really see that all that often. Most of the time we see sort of an echo happening. So, just, yeah. Less than 2 minutes now. We see on the other side a very different kind of team than we see on the RTK side with tank choices and everything. But we've seen things work before, and honestly, I saw a team of 7 E50Ms earlier today and they smashed the enemy, so anything goes, anything can happen. I think it's, in this case, it's a lot of luck involved as well, and early map dominance. If you can get the bases and you just then hold, it can make all the difference. But we are starting on that rule, and that is a tricky map to choose, because if you go for A and B, you can get the bases, but then you don't really have any position to be in where you can get sniped from either spawn. And on the other side, if you go C, you will have more trouble getting 2 bases, but you might murder your enemy more quickly. So that's tricky, but that's also makes it interesting. And FBI and RTK, both seasoned competitive clans. We've seen them in a lot of tournaments over the years. So it will be interesting to see what they do and where they go with this. FBI now almost already. I have a feeling that Taco is not going to pick a 1-2-0. But we see an E5, a Batchat, a Leo, a 140, an IS4 and a Foch. And we don't know yet what Taco is going to take. But he has 20 seconds left to actually take it, so he does have to hurry up a little bit. There we go, he goes for an E100. Tricky choice for this mode. Batchat potentially changing as well. No, it becomes a 215B with less than 10 seconds to go, so that was a tricky move to do. I hope they're all ready. I am. They look to be now. And here we go for the first match of the final stages of the realistic tournament. And let's see where they're gonna go and what they're gonna do. Because this has actually been, so far, the trickiest map. Because you either go for the flanks, which basically means base C, or you go for the bases, and then you can potentially get absolutely wrecked. And that's the weird thing. I'm not used to that. Because normally the minimap would help you so much with where people are and what they're doing. But we see that FBI and RTK are both focusing on the middle, so that's going to be very interesting. And the Leo's all the way at the back. Wunderkind. There's a plane flying straight at us. Zerd, the first one to lose HP. Wunderkind losing a tiny bit. Gassio losing a little bit. One Mo. There's a Foch back there. He's now reloading though. But they have to be a bit more careful. They're losing quite a bit of HP for no reason. I mean, there's a... Okay, there was a big chunk of health out of the Foch there. But they have to be very careful, and they have to actually see it. Foch taking another shot of damage. Brokey's in an interesting position. One Mo taking damage. This is basically the thing. You have to see your target to make it work, but they're losing quite a lot of HP just being there, because they're getting shot from multiple sides, and that can be very dangerous indeed. Look at the one Mo, overextending, losing more HP. I have no idea how to say. Jetep, I'm just gonna call him. They now have someone behind them. And that will be very tricky. Both teams have a base, but FBI has a point advantage. Indigo in a tricky position. We see Massive and Gassio here. Mo losing more HP. They need to take Jetep out of the equation. But they're not going to do that, and when Mo is about to get massacred, they don't really have a choice. Ninja is gone though, the Foch great support is gone, but now we have 5 on 3. And there goes Mo. Wonderkind is next in line. Indigo is moving in, but the rest is too far away. They might take out the E100 first. But there goes Wonderkind. Now Zerd is alone. The E100, ooh, that was an expensive bounce, and that's might cost him a lot of HP. Look at that. Before he's finally gone. But it's already 5 versus 3. And Leo now has Massive behind him. But overall it's not looking good. Killer Tomato is being absolutely massacred. He's almost gone. There he goes. And now it is 2 versus 5. And that's not gonna go well. And the first match will be FBI's. There's no doubt about that. But that's exactly what I mean. They were losing so much HP just peeking up and over that hill continuously. They had no reason to do that. And now only Massive is left. And unless he gets some magical ammo racks, he's not going to be able to do this. He is actually driving out. Basically committing suicide here. Letting himself get massacred. And that's the first match over of this best of 3. Again, anyone that loses is not quite over for them yet. But the pressure will be on now. Because of course you are safer if you have basically more space to lose, so to speak. So, with half a minute left to go, we are ready to go into the second match. FBI is almost ready. RTK is changing their lineup a bit, and FBI is taking an E5, 215B, a Leo, potentially a 140, E100, IS4 and 268. And they're going to be up against 3 IS7s, a T22 medium, 405, don't see that very often, STB and an E50M. So that's a very different lineup. And he, oof, Jetep only just barely readied himself in time. So let's see what's gonna happen in this second match. They kinda have to change their game. Well, they literally do, because if they do repeat of what happened last game, they basically lose this matchup. But FBI was very patient in their gameplay, and I really like how they just basically punished RTK for going where they were and just staying there and peeking up and over. And that's the first damage already in Indigo. That is a very cheeky shot there. Now RTK is focusing on the C side, a bit going into the middle but not too much. And we see that FBI is getting into position, and we see the first shots, the crossfire happening. And they have to be careful there as well. Base C is being taken. The STB, Zerd losing a little bit of HP there. They have to be careful. We have Jetep here, which could be an interesting combination. But overall they have to be careful. T22 now moving in. They want to take him out fast. Reactive armor, active Shot missed. And there's a leopard that is helping them. And they're not getting the shots in. The focus fire is not as ideal as it should be. And them bounces though. T22 moving out of the way. But that's also a tricky thing. STB is almost gone. They have to be careful here. Burger is losing a lot of HP. STB takes him out, barely alive. But alive he is. And that's the first gun gone, but it cost him a heck lot. And the rest is just waiting. The 268 behind there. Gassio not being able to get the shot in. But we see Muffins taking a shot there. And now the 405 is moving and the Leo at the back should tap is repositioning a little bit. But they have to be so careful because they want to take out the guns, but they're taking so much risk doing that though. They're actually focused. Oof, big hit into Gassio there. And they're not focusing on the same target, and that's a dangerous thing to do. Killer Tomato almost gone. Burger is gone first though. And there he goes. Taco is gone. So far, it looks to be RTK's game in this case, especially since it's 7 versus 3 now. But they kind of have to focus on the same guy, and that's the tricky business, because they can't really see everyone. Indigo, barely alive, gonna be shot in the bum here. And there he goes. But now there's only the 268 and the 215B left. Muffins, the last one there, he gets taken out. Destroyer Brokey with his fancy camo. And there he goes. And the second match is for R2K. And this is exactly what I meant. In the meantime, I'm getting a quick look. Nice. If you want to, I'm gonna post a link. Let's see. Every is streaming win. Just linking you there in case you want to watch them, because they're a fantastic clan as well. So that is the now we actually get a tiebreaker. That's really up for that. So we have FBI readying up in an E5, an E52, no, 3 E50Ms, a 215B, a T22 and an IS-7 versus a Mouse, 2 E50Ms, a T22 of FV405, an E5 and an E7. IS-7, sorry. Wow. And let's see what's going on in this tiebreaker. We're going to Winter Malinovka this time. Very different map, very different things happening there. And I quite like it. So let's see what's gonna happen now. And I actually like that most of them are driving camos that fit. Earlier today I saw a mouse in a pink camo on this map, and even though it made me laugh a lot, it didn't exactly hide him. Which eventually didn't work out in his favor. So let's go up and away and see what's going on. We see RTK focusing primarily on the B and C side, whereas FBI is heading towards A. If they cap early, they can get away with it. They can just hold after that. But they will need to get the bases, and that is the tricky part. Base A is now being capped, and I think that means that they're gonna cap C and B. Massive moving in there. They have capped the base already. Massive in a bit of a precarious position where he is. Oof, first damage being done, a massive hit into Indigo there. With RTK primarily just all around the middle here. But they now have 2 bases. And that means that they will soon have a point advantage. They just need to be very defensive. They need to let FBI make the mistakes. Oof, third. Losing quite a bit of HP there. They're quite out in the open, and that is not a good thing. Wunderkind in a position where he's gonna get quite hurt as well, I think. Even if he's a mouse. And we see R2K flank around in their spawn. Wonderkind losing some HP there. And we see RTK pushing in, but it's sort of like it's a reverse pincer happening. They are pushing in, they're focusing on the IS-7. And let's see if they're gonna get away with it, because there's a lot of guns there from FBI, and Indigo is losing so much HP here. He has to be careful. The FV0405 is moving in. T22 is almost gone. They need to take out those guns. And they need to be careful about it. The FV is not going to survive for long. He might get another shot in. The guns are dropping left and right. It is 5 versus 4. But Cassio is in a bit of a tricky position here, not able to support his team, so it's more like 4 versus 4. They need to work together, they need to shoot the same person. And Killer Tomato is not going to survive for long. Ooh, that was a nice double tap with the tracking shot to boot. There goes Killer Tomato. Massive is next in line. They need to be careful. It is 3 versus 3. 2 versus 2. It can still go every which way. As long as they fire at the same target, it can go every which way. Now that definitely helped. But that definitely doesn't help. But we're already at 925 points. He basically just has to survive. And he's just doing that perfectly by angling, turning with Destroyer Brokey to survive as long as he can. But here we go. Well done. Little wiggle by Brokey there. And it almost looked like it wasn't going to happen. I think if Ninja, I think it was, yeah, it has to be Ninja, didn't go down and get that tracking double tap with from Wonderkind along with Cassio, they could have had this. Because they would have kept the gun up. So that is the first matchup over. And that means that we have a little bit of time before the next matchup. Thing is that at this stage, Starham is one from Powerful Owns. I wish you could just see clan tags. This is all stars. Most of the teams that get here are, well, no, this one isn't, but mostly unknown. So that means we have FBI versus unknown, and we have stars versus RTK next. It is a little bit confusing about the battle times, because this one is starting in 15 minutes. And this one is starting in 4 minutes. Basically, after this, as soon as the matches are up, the next match starts. So as soon as the one team has lost and the other team loses as well, then they are matched almost automatically. So the games are following each other very quickly. This is the only time we have any waiting time at all. And I'm not going to risk it by showing you games, because I just don't want to... I don't want to chance missing out on an invite because we're showing you a replay. So we just gotta have to look at pretty things in my garage, like my 121B. I can show you other things. This is also a Hader tank. So let's just stick with that instead, shall we? So yeah. Interesting matchup though, but FBI is not out of the equation yet. They can still fight back, and we can still see them again in the grand finals, because it's a double elimination. So we just have to be patient a little bit longer. In 10 minutes the room will be up for us. And basically now we wait. This is the kind of thing where I'm always questioning wargaming with how things go, because I was yesterday I was supposed to stream RTK and I got 2 completely different teams, and it's just a little bit well, I wouldn't say frustrating, it kind of is, but it's more like you're not exactly sure that how you think things will go is exactly how it will go, and that is a big problem. when you try to ooh, what was that there? When you try to make a schedule. But yeah, overall these games were fairly fun, and I think I'm actually gonna look at what maps we're gonna get later on, because we have a tournament description. So we should see Oasis Palms and Desert Sands next, and then we see Oasis Palms and Winter Malinovka again. Fairly much the same maps. I'm not a big fan of that. And then for the grand final we have Normandy, Winter Malinovka again, Desert Sands again, and Rockfield if we get a tiebreaker. So it should be fun. I'm not sure why they chose such a small map pool, because there's so many more maps here. But yeah, maybe they chose the most realistic ones. I don't know. Normandy I really do like though. And that's the one that we're not seeing right now. But we should get the Oasis Bombs and Winter Malinovka thing. Time-wise is also not quite like that. Also with the time with the grand finals, it's not been like that today. I don't mind that though, because for me, I like not having empty space between the games. So yeah, let's see, do we have, what prizes do they say that people get? Credits basically, that's it, that's really it? Can't imagine that. No, not that, this. Well, this is about the stream. What does it say about the tournaments? No, it really, oh, and premium account, that's the thing that wasn't mentioned. 14 days of Prem for every participant. That's not too bad though. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's not too bad. I wonder what you can get in a huge container. I haven't tried anything. I'm not a big fan of the realistic game mode because it really doesn't fit my playstyle. I'm a sniper moder and I tend to stay in sniper mode a lot. And that also means that I use the minimap a lot and things, because you don't really see anything on the minimap. That can be a big problem when you're in realistic game mode. In the meantime, I'm getting PMs. Let me have a quick look. Aw, Ninja said something really nice, but he only said it in the team chat, and that meant that I could not see it. Ninja fighting for FBI. He greeted me really nicely. So yeah, now we just wait. We have about 6 minutes left to go. So if you have any, well, basically by the time you say anything about it, there will be less than 1 minute left before we get the room. We can talk more about missiles, but I think I've said quite enough for that. Let's actually just go over what's in the store. We have crates. I'm not allowed to show crate opening or share stats of crate opening on the press accounts. I can't really show you anything there. But there's a T22 in there, but the thing is that there's a 5% chance that you get the T22. And that's also why I'm very much against crates, because people think that for some reason if you buy X amount of crates that you have more of a chance of getting it. No. The probability that you that you draw that 5% rather than the 95 other percent gets larger, because it's just more probable, but it doesn't mean that your chance actually increases. For every crate that you open, the chance of actually getting the tank is only 5%. So that's something that I'm really not a fan of. And you can literally buy thousands of crates and still not get the tank. So that is one item in the store. Then we have this bundle. It's a good value bundle, with the exception that the IS-6 is no longer the competitive tank that it used to be. It's still relatively okay-ish, but it's just not that great anymore. It used to have preferential matchmaking of only seeing to 9, not tier 10, when we had +2, -2 matchmaking. And I mean, it was great fun to bully tier 6 in this tank. And of course tier 7 as well, and tier 8. But overall, since the gluttony of prema tanks has happened, it's just not as OP anymore. And of course, with the reducing of the matchmaking as a whole to +2, -2, to +1, -1, it's just not that special anymore. In the meantime, we also have these two, the IS-2-ish and the EC-130. These, along with the along with the 122S, they are not necessarily bad tanks, but they're not great tanks either. They don't really have anything going for it. And personally, I'm not a fan of the IS-2-ish because it's the rear-mounted turret. It's typical IS tank, as in comparable to the normal IS, and that doesn't suit my playstyle. So personally, I don't like them, but I mainly think that they don't have anything special to offer. Now, the AT-15A was one of my first premium tanks that I ever bought, and at the time it was OP as can be, and that had everything to do with the armor and the rate of fire and the fact that there wasn't that much of a gluttony of premium tanks in tier 7 and 8 yet, so it could really hold its own. Nowadays though, it doesn't. Again, it's relatively, well, together the tanks are relatively cheap, so it could potentially be good, but it's not that special. And I regret that. A lot of tanks that I used to appreciate are just not that way anymore. It's just... And if I had to make the choice now, I would no longer spend money on that. So, that is that bundle. Of course, the camouflages, you have more avatars. Certificate for free XP is something to note, that if you actually convert your free XP, you're a lot better off than doing it this way. It will cost you a lot more, but if you need like one more to combine everything, because that's another thing I'll get to you about, then you can get a lot more. But that's the thing, I won't have any of them, but if you have 10 of these, you can combine them. 10 of these for 200 XP would mean 2k free XP. If you combine 10 of them, you get 2300. If you combine 10 of those, you get 28k. And if you combine 10 of those, you get 350k free XP. So it will take a long time of saving up to actually get there, but it is actually worth it. You just need to be very, very patient. So in the meantime, we are waiting. The room invite should be up very soon. Let's go back to the store. What bundles do we have? Valentine 2 is actually one of 2 tanks that still has preferential matchmaking. The other one is the Panzer B2. If you tune those two together, the Valentine 2, the Panzer B2, or with each other, you don't see tier 5. So that makes this tank quite fun, but at the same time the low tiers are so broken, nothing is balanced and everything struggles. I still wouldn't buy it. But the Matilda is not the soulmate of the Valentine, mainly because of the fact that it does not have the preferential matchmaking. But yeah, Valentine 2 is one of the only 2 tanks left in the game with preferential matchmaking. Then of course you have these kind of bundles. You have some seal clubbers, which, like I said, low tiers are completely broken, everything struggles. And it can be fun-ish, but overall I find it too frustrating. And of course the Chimera. I haven't actually driven it, I haven't bought it. I kind of want it because it's Chimera and I'm a big fan of mythology. There we go. I'm a big fan of mythology, but I'm not going to spend 44 euros on a tier 8 tank. So that's basically my talk about the store. Feel some quiet time, silent time. It had to do. Basically, we're now just going to be waiting until we go into the next matchup. And I wonder if people are actually changing their camos, because I'm not sure if you actually have to, because I think the game does that automatically as long as you have the right camo selected. But we see that Stars is completely ready already with 2 140s, a T22 medium, a 215B, 268, a Sherry, and an E5. And RTK is still arriving. And we'll see what happens. RTK is still missing one, but more than 3.5 minutes left to go. I'm not sure what Boris is talking about. RTK, 1 year ago I expected you win at great tournaments. Now my clan is ready to play. I wait win of my clan, but if you will win, I tell you thanks and good luck. That's actually quite nice. No, Raptor just said, it's recommendable open the crate containers of T22. No, crates are bad, okay? And we see that RTK has now decided on 2 E5s, 3 E50Ms, a T22 and a Spaghetti. And so far this map has been one of the most fun maps to see the matches on, mainly because of the fact that you see people crossing over, and where they would normally not be spotted at all, because you have a line of sight and you see them, people get shot. And that's one of the things that I actually do like about realistic mode. You can, and no matter how far a tank is, you can still see them. So yeah. To be fair with the crate stuff, to get back to that, because they're still talking about it in chat. You will hear this in like 5 minutes, but still. Crates are stupid, I fully agree with that. And they're bad because you have a very small chance of actually getting what you want. But the thing is, people buy them. People like to take a little bit of a gamble, and even if you buy like the sale bundles of buy one get one free kind of thing, you will still have bought crates, and you're still supporting the crates. Well, not necessarily supporting the crates, but because you're buying crates, Wargaming earns money, which makes it more likely for them to sell crates again and again. So that's generally a problem. Because we keep the crates in the game by buying crates. And then we complain about the crates because we think they're evil, and we all feel that they're evil. But we still do it. So the crates keep coming. Also, the gold on this account is not mine, it's Wargaming's. This is a press account. So people can't message me here. I can test all tanks that I want, and I don't have to worry about spending any gold or anything. So unfortunately I can't give you anything. Less than a minute left to go now. Both teams are completely ready. Kind of curious to see how the Sherry will perform, because we have seen some nice Sherry shots earlier today as well. But it is tricky. In the meantime, I am getting PMs on Discord. I will check them after the stream. I try not to get distracted too much by what is happening in Discord. I do keep an eye on the chat, mainly because there can be some questions and all of that. But yeah. Every CC will tell you not to buy crates, but they will explain to you what's in the crates. T22 is a great tank. It is relatively OP, in the right hands especially. But it is still gambling. And here we go. And let's see what is going on Desert Sands. And where we are going. I'm actually going to skip, I think, to the other side. I can't do that yet. I can only do that once we're actually loaded in and the battle has started. But we see that is not really a desert camo. But this one definitely just makes him harder to see from a distance, that is. But the rendering of these kind of tanks is still different. And that's kind of the thing though. I have no idea what that means. That guy was the same guy that was talking Russian in the chat earlier. No idea what he's saying. So we see the first HP already being lost. And this is exactly what I mean, because they are visible. And they are pushing in, they're pushing through the middle. Massive potentially in trouble when he's like that. And we have the 140s. The mediums from Stars. Pushing through the middle. Sheridan losing quite a bit of health there. Sheridan wiped out. And that is bye-bye Sherry. Wunderkind losing a little bit of HP there. They have to be careful. And now we see RTK pushing through the middle, losing some HP, but they are murdering that 140. And now we see the T22. One Mo is almost gone though. And he has to be careful not to get shot again. But so far, Stars has already lost 2 guns. One Mo still alive. And there goes Mitia. And Massive and Gasio are hunting down Greek. Trying to show you everything at once. And there he goes. And now there's only 2 guys left. And it's very potentially going to be a 7-0. He does get a shot in. But he's not going to be able to reload in time before he's massacred. That was mean, Zerd. Why you do that, Peter? To be fair, in other matches... Wow, 1 XP. Oh my god, that poor 140. And he wasn't even the first to die. That is a massive damage difference. So both teams are already completely redded up again. We see 2 140s, a T22 medium, a 215B, a 268 Sherry and an E5 again on the Star side versus 2 E5s, 3 E50Ms, a T22 and a Spaghetti. So in 15 seconds we get to go into the game. And let's see what's gonna happen then. And after this I think we get the Stars versus... Well, okay, the loser of this versus the winner of the other match. Which I kind of expect to be FBI. But we will know after this game. There's my T22. And let's see what's gonna happen here. I do like this. I mean, look at this. This is... The rendering is different, so you generally, if you pay attention enough, you will always see them. But color-wise, it works quite well. So, and let's go here and let's see what's gonna happen. RTK focusing on the desert side, whereas Stars is heading up and over. And so far they're managing... Oh no, they are losing a little bit of damage there. But not too much. And I wonder if they're gonna get a base. And they are... The Mets are pushing on in the middle. Massive is staying behind to keep a close lookout to see where they're going. And he is going back towards his team. This could potentially be tricky because they're completely split up. And that is a bit... That can be potentially troublesome. And now we see the 140 arriving. Zerd taking some damage. And the rest of the team pushing in. They have to make sure that every shot pans, even though it doesn't. The rest of Stars is arriving. And they're surely to be very much outgunned. They do take out the 140 though. And we see RTK arriving behind them. Zerd is sadly being destroyed. Greek is almost gone. Zerd's still alive, but they taken out 3 tanks. Zerd's still alive. Zerd's still alive. 4 tanks gone. I have no idea how this is possible when you have so many guns versus 2. This is like a real big cluster F. They're not even... Tomato is trying to ram the T22 to death. Zerd is still alive. Everyone survived. Just what the hell, guys? Oh my lord. That is... yeah. This is what I mean. And that is also what I meant with the rooms being immediately up. And FBI, as expected, making it back in this game. And now having to face off against Stars or Winter Malinovka. And we're gonna see what's happening. But that was just weird though. I mean, stats wise, I don't think they're bad. But that was very YOLO gameplay. It's like they had no idea where they were in the game. So it will be interesting to see them face off against FBI as well. In the meantime, I'm going to have a quick look at the bracket, because then I can also quickly visit the teams and see what's going on. Let's have a look. Yes, Starhammers is gone. And we now have... no, Starhammers is actually here, never mind. They are at 56% win rate team, which means that they have a tough pickle against FBI and RTK. But I would expect them to do better than we saw. And with 3.5 minutes left to go, that is plenty of time for the teams to decide what to drive. But we see that Stars is going with a Mouse, a 140, a T22, a 215B, two 268s, and an E5 for Winter Malinovka. That is an interesting lineup, to be sure. Especially choosing two TDs at this stage, that is tricky. So let's see what's going on. What is FBI taking? Again, plenty of time. The one Mo just said, Cap B with Sherry is a good tactic if all tanks are permanently spotted. That's kind of what went wrong with the Sheridan. Poor guy got absolutely obliterated. But that's the thing, it's like then Stars is not really aware that they're playing a realistic tournament, that the rules of engagement are very different. But yeah, Zert was still alive at the end. He was, I thought for sure that he was going to be a goner, but no. 2.5 minutes left to go before we go into the next matchup. And the winner of this will face off against RTK in the grand finals with a best of 7. But so far, the stages are following pretty quickly, considering we had this last matchup happen in 7 minutes. That is including 2-minute waiting time in between the battle. But yeah, realistic mode is definitely not for me, but I do really enjoy watching the tournaments because it's so different. I really can't wait for Mat Games tournaments or Uprising tournaments though. That would be absolutely fantastic. So random. There's going to be so many laughs. It's going to be very hard to commentate, but we're going to have a blast doing it all the way. So Stars is sticking with the lineup that they had chosen before. And now we just wait for FBI to completely ready up, but they still have 1.5 minutes left to go, so. Oh god, a realistic tournament without Discord would be even worse. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. I never neglect the layman closing a stream. Might just do some countdown clock or just show some music with the preview image at the end, just to be certain that nothing is lost. Half a minute left to go before we go into the matchup. And FBI has gone with an E5, two 215Bs, an E3, a VK, an STB, and E15. That is definitely an interesting lineup to see. VK, I've not seen that yet. E3 I have seen, but it didn't perform quite as you would expect. Most just said hashtag corner OP. I have a feeling that I know where in the game they're at. So yeah, I'll make sure to just add some extra time at the end before I actually close the stream. Can basically do the same thing that I do before a stream, like preview, but then without a countdown and just some music, just to make sure that everything will go right, nobody misses anything. Hello, Ninja. So let's see, we are going. Let's see where they go with this. And we see FBI focusing on the base A side, even with their slowish VK. Kind of curious to see what they're gonna do with it. Also very curious to see what stars will do at this stage. Let's actually go and look at that. They are focusing on base B and C, but they're very spread out. They're a bit everywhere. I'm also still curious about the two 268s being used. And we see Brokey, where he is, base A not being kept. And he's not being sighted yet. But he does land a good shot there, Brokey. With the mouse coming in. Basically trying to angle protect his mate, but he is losing HP over it. And Nagi has to be careful as well, because he's getting shot from the side. Oof! This is not going to go well. They have captured base C, but they lost quite a bit of HP trying to get base B. They do have the bases though, but look at the HP just being bled. Oh, that poor mouse. He's not going to survive for much longer, and neither is Nagi. Let's have a look. They are firing. I'm just basically, I want to show you this because you see the fire lines, you see where they're going to come from. There goes the mouse, and that is the first damage on FBI's side. Sorry, not the mouse, the FE. There goes the mouse. With a falling off turret and everything. So they've lost 2 tanks. FBI is now moving in. One of the 268 is a one-shot. He's not going to survive much longer. If that A3 makes a move. Burger just lost a little bit of HP. They can be quite patient. Vlad now steadily losing. Oh, nice big hit into Vlad there. And he's not going to be around much longer either. That missed though. So I have the T-22 here that is now shooting people in the back. But he has an E5 and the E50M. And I would be very surprised if this will be anything other than a 7-0 for FBI. They have some low HP targets, but nothing too bad. E3 now turning around, wanting to take out that 268, or he is typing. I'm not sure what he's doing. Oh, he was tracked, that's it. Like I said, I would be very surprised if this was anything other than a 7-0. There's 2 low HP targets left. But I can't see the blues on the minimap, which does not make this easy. Something Russian, no idea. But it is indeed a 7-0. Just the way that they were eating away at the mouse and the 215B in the middle, that was just beautiful. And that's the thing, if you're wanting to get the spots, if you're expecting the tanks on the minimap, that's not gonna happen here. So in just over half a minute we are gonna go back into the game. This is still a best of 3, the grand finals will be a best of 7, so that will be quite different. But now definitely the pressure is on for Stars. They have to win the next 2 matches, and I have a feeling that they won't. The thing is that they are putting up a good game, but they're playing it like it's a normal battle, and they're playing it like they're expecting people to pop up on their minimap. And that just doesn't happen in a realistic tournament. But here we have 2 140s, T22, E50M, 268 Sherry, and another 140 versus 215B Leo, E3, 215B Mouse, IS4, and an E50M. I'm always just checking to make sure that there's nothing on the screen, that you can just see the game and everything. So let's see what's gonna happen now in this second game. I can't really play too when I'm gaming though, when I'm streaming though, hun. 5 minutes delay. So that no one can see each other's lineup at all. Sometimes it's really not needed. But just always to be safe, I always use 5 minutes delay for tournaments. And we see that FBI is now focusing really on the middle. They are trying to catch some tanks that are crossing over, going to the middle there. Oh, Greek. The Sherry is there. Look at that though. Poor Object 140 is getting absolutely hammered. And it's almost gone already. And we have Stars that is pushing. But they are holding and the Sherry bounces on the mouse there. And this is going to be very interesting because Greek is almost gone. And they're losing a lot of HP while taking nearly none out of FBI. This is like a very interesting push. Nobody knows. They're actually driving into each other here. That is not very hopeful. They might actually take out Turkur. But overall, they're losing a lot of guns trying to take out one single gun. Ninja not looking too healthy either. There he goes. And there goes another one. And it is 5 versus 3. And just look at this. Oof, that was a deletion. We have the 268 versus the 215B in the middle. We have Nagi here. We had Nagi here. And now we only have this. And he can even just go in and take the shot. He has the HP to spare. And there he goes. E3 finishes him off. And the game is for FBI. So is the matchup. Which I think means that we automatically go immediately to the grand finals. Because for some reason there is no time in between these kind of matches. Just waiting for the pop-up to happen. Third. I mean, yikes. Yeah, kind of just says it all, doesn't it? But yeah. Now we have RTK versus FBI again. And that's definitely an interesting matchup. It was interesting to see Stars play, let's put it that way. So, 4.5 minutes left before the matchup actually begins. Plenty of time. We are starting on Desert Sands. We've already seen matches on Desert Sands today, even in this stream. And like I said, it's just so funny when people are crossing over the real road and they just get shot all the way from the other side. There's no spotting involved. Everyone is always spotted. It's just, yeah, I'm quite... I find it quite funny. But especially when I like when it's like clans like this versus each other, because they're both competitive clans. They're both well-known competitive clans. And it just makes it different. Even though in the end it generally always becomes a brawl and it's more like... let's just murder each other and see who focus fires better. But overall, it just makes for interesting gameplay. And that's why I like these weird tournament modes. And I really hope they're gonna do more like this. But then with Uprising and Mad Capes, because I would think that's just hilarious. So, both teams are completely there, just not all readied up. They have plenty of time, 3.5 minutes left to go. And like I said, this is a best of 7, so the first one to reach 4 victories is the one that takes it home. Meanwhile, we've been streaming for less than an hour. Well, more than an hour if you can include the basically the startup time with the buffering and all of that. But less than an hour, and we are entering the grand finals already. I actually like that the matches are that close together because it means that there's just a lot less dead time in between. And that makes it a lot easier for us spectators / commentators. So with just over 2.5 minutes left to go, we see that RTK has read up in an E5, 3 E50Ms, a T22 is Spaghetti and another E5. And they're gonna go up against two E50Ms, a 2 and 5B, a Leo, potentially 2 Foshes and an E1. That's an interesting choice though. If those Foshes get all their shots in, it can make all the difference. And there we go. The Leo has turned into 215B. E100 can be very troll with this because you don't see the hit skins, you don't know where you can shoot someone for certain. But with players like this, it's still nearly a given because they will know all the weak spots, they will know where they need to be in order to not bang someone. Less than 2 minutes left to go, and then we can go into the game and see what's going on, see what's happening in this grand finals of the Realistic Tournament. The second ever Realistic Tournament, because we had one last week as well. Brian was streaming that, and this one we're not actually just... this time it's just me. Well, and Every, actually. He was supposed to stream yesterday as well, but Wargaming didn't get back to him, but luckily he arranged it for now. So he's streaming Winsk. It's actually Win, but Win wants to go to Minsk, so Winsk. And they're great guys as well. So if you're not watching them right now, definitely watch them back, because that's going to be very fun gameplay. And support Every's channel as well, because he is a great guy, great player. I think he's currently leading in the ratings challenge thing that we've got going on. More details on the big server. But basically people play rating battles, and the one that gets the highest rating gets to give away a lot of stuff. So if you follow him now, you will be warned about that stuff. So 33 seconds left to go, and then we will see what is going to happen in the grand finals. I have no idea where Every is at actually with the matches, but they're probably going to be fun as well. 15 seconds, everybody is ready. I'm very curious about what those 2 Foshes are going to do, because that can work in their favor, but it can also really work against them. Yes, Muffin just said he prefers the normal tournaments, and I very much agree. But for commentating senses, this is really good fun. So let's see. I like that the one Mo is just using camouflage. That will just make him stand out more. Yeah, that's gonna be a meme, isn't it? So let's see what's gonna happen. RTK going towards the desert. But they're definitely gonna be playing it more carefully than they did last time. Oh, big hit into Burger there. That was expensive. Wonderkind also losing quite a bit of health there. Both teams will have lost some HP there. Look at this. Brokey being quite aggressive, losing HP for it. And they have to be careful. We don't see the blue guys on the minimap, so I have to be... It's a bit hard sometimes to show you everything I want to show. But Brokey is steadily being murdered. Both teams have a base. But the FBI has a tiny point advantage, because it's capped a tiny bit earlier. Oof, massive. Losing a chunk of HP there. They have to be careful. I mean, there's a Fosh there. Wonderkind losing a little bit of HP as well. Overall, both teams have pretty healthy and unhealthy people. There's less than 1k of damage between them. Of HP between them, I should say. Mo taking a massive chance here. Wanted to take him out. Oof, but they lose quite a bit of HP for that. Gassio now in trouble potentially. Mo reloading. Overall, they have a gun more. Ooh, Mo, you're almost gone. Lots of low health targets. But RTK does have 2 guns more. If they survive, there goes Zerd. They have the point advantage now. They can afford to just hold. Let's actually go over at Tomato. He's not going to survive for much longer either, but he does take out 1. And they have to be careful. These are the kind of things. Wunderkind just got taken out. There goes Burger. It is 4 versus 3. The Foch is moving in. But there's some very low HP targets. That was a very epic shot there. Ooh, Mo. But now he is reloading. And this is a good thing for the Foch if he pulls back up there. Ooh. He has to pen this. He has to be careful. There he goes. He does take it. We have a Foch that just missed his shot. The E100 is arriving but only tracks him. Ooh, ooh. This is such a close call. If he takes out the Foch, it can make all the difference. And there he goes. It is 1v1. But there's an E100 involved. And Gassio has to be very careful. Which he's doing just that. Taka moving into the middle. Expecting to be chased by the E100. Or at least expecting Gassio to be in the desert. When he's actually not. This could be very tricky. He needs to be very careful here. If he gets it, he does have the point advantage. He needs to get out of there. Oh my god. Get out of there! No, 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 no! No! Unless he bounces, but he doesn't. Oh my god, this game though! He should have gotten the heck out of there. Oh my god, that was so close. Wow. What a game. Both teams were quite reckless though. But that does make it a lot of fun for me. Especially with the last part, if he just run away. But he didn't know where the E100 was, and that's the thing. Even if he'd driven the other way around through the base. Oof, oh my god. So, we have 17 seconds left. RTK is readied up in an E5, 2 E50Ms, a T22, 2 STBs and a 215B versus an E100, a 215B, a Foch, a Grill, an E100, a Betcha and IS4. Again, very interesting lineup by FBI. Haven't seen some of these tanks in the game for the realistic tournaments before. And that's actually makes it, again, very interesting. I like it. Grill, of course, a great tank, but difficult to not be murdered alive in. At the same time, he does have a bit of a turret. So let's see where they are gonna go. Batchat crossing over. Let's see if he... No, he does get there unhurt, undamaged. The question is, will Zerd and Wunderkind do as well? No, Wunderkind takes a hit there. C is being taken. And we have the 215B here, already getting some shots in. But bouncing. Oh, big hit into Mo there. And that can make all the difference. They are capping base B, but they are pushing through as well. E100 is soaking up both bounces and damage. And Indigo has to be careful there. Oof, that is a big hit to take. You do not have that much health left, hun. You need to be more careful. E100 steadily being destroyed by Indigo, but he has to be careful. He can't take many more of those shots. And now both of them have pulled back enough. But in this case, RTK has a tiny, tiny point advantage. Careful, Indigo. Don't risk it. We have Wunderkind. Basically, let's see where all the blues are. Because we don't see them on the mini-map. That is a bug. Brokey at the back. Indigo taking a big hit when he didn't need to. Oof. Big hit into Wunderkind on the other side there. There goes Taco. But he survived a lot longer than we thought he would. Let's see on the other side. I'm not sure what to show you, to be fair. We see things happening everywhere. Fosh over, basically protecting this side. The Badget at the back. Moving towards the Fosh and the Ice Fall. Both teams have tanks. HP is steadily being bled, but RTK only has to hold. They just need to be careful. Indigo especially, because he's the lowest HP one and potentially a one-shot for some of the guns here. Brokey losing some HP there. And they want to take out Indigo. That is the gun that they want to take out of the equation, but it won't be enough because RTK still had a slight point advantage. Oof. Garil losing a little bit of HP there. There's too much going on both sides, so I can't really show you everything. 205B losing a little bit of HP there. And FBI seems to be pulling back towards one side. Jitep. Now moving away from the train tracks. And RTK just has to hold. Brokey losing some more HP. The Grill at the back waiting for a shot. Indigo still nicely put at the back, keeping him safe. And let's see on the other side. I'm getting the hang of these number things. I don't really use them much. We are at 810 points. FBI will have to make a move, but they will have to be careful about it. Gassio losing a little bit of HP, one Mo as well. They need to be more defensive. They don't need to take any chances. We are at 850 points. Killer Tomato peeking up and over a little bit much there. Wunderkind moving forwards as well. He wants to get the shots in, but this could potentially be dangerous. 890 points. If they want to make a move, they have to make it now. This is potentially the longest game we've had. We see the E100 moving in. Immediately getting shot for it. Shots happening left and right. 925 points. They are pushing up and over. If they just survive for a little bit longer, Massive just losing HP. There goes Destroyer Brokey. They're almost at it. They're almost there. They just need one more kill. No, they don't even need it. And there we go. The game is for RTK. Very patient gameplay by both teams, but FBI waited just a little bit too long. So that is a not that much, well, okay, generally big difference in damage as well, but that was a great game. I actually enjoyed that. With the base capture and everything. So we are moving on to the second map of this best of 7. We are going to Rockfield. And let's see what they're going to do there, what tanks they're going to pick. They don't have that long here, but they're going to go with 2 205Bs, 2 E50Ms, a T22 is Spaghetti and a Foch. And they're going to be up against an E5, 2 E50Ms, a 263, a Foch, a 215B and a T22. And maybe the Foch is being changed out, but he has to ready up quite fast. There we go. It's a 183. That is a cheeky choice. No, maybe it's not. Did you ready up in time? Did you ready up in time? You did not have time. No, you did ready up in time. And he changed it. Oh my god, that was... Don't do that though. So let's see what's gonna happen here. I quite like this map, but it's quite predictable. But at the same time, with games like this, it's really not. So we see both RTK and FBI focusing on the same side, heading towards the same base here. And we will see what's going on here. Let's sit on top of the hill. I'm actually stuck here. I want to show you everything, but it's very hard to always find an angle that shows all that's going on. Massive. Losing a little bit of HP, but not getting the hit in that he'd hoped. Shots happening at Ninja. And some of... Ooh, this is cheeky. Brokey is flanking around. RTK is pushing in hard. Looks to be like they're rushing. Massive hit into Taco. But again, they're not really focusing on the same target. They're going to get targets behind them as well. They're going to be pincered. Mo in trouble. Losing a lot of HP here. But now they're pushing Ninja. They're deciding to not focus on the guy. Taco is gone. There goes Mo. This is just basically a brawl straight off. And HP wise, FBI has an advantage, but gun wise they definitely don't. Indigo in trouble. Still alive somehow. Being ignored by the 215Bs. There goes Brokey. There goes Indigo. It is 4 versus 3. But now it's 3 versus 3 and HP wise FBI is doing a lot more better. Especially some of the shots that need to pen do not hit the target that they... oof. So many bounces. Zerd is not going to survive this. He really can't. He's going to be gone. Next reload. There he goes. Killer Samantha having basically missed a lot of shots here. Gassio now next in line. This is FBI's game again. This was a non-committed push by RTK. They shouldn't have. There he goes. And Killer Tomato. In this case, if I had to point at someone guilty, it would be Tomato, because he's been missing a lot of shots this game. He does get that one, but there he goes. And it's FBI's game. The thing is that RTK pushed, but then they just stood on top of the hill waiting for the people to get behind them and get shots in. They should have just pushed straight on. And that's sad. Well handled by FBI though, because they captured that rush very well.
It fell.
So let's see what's going on. In 40 seconds we get the next match. And then we get to see the... Well, basically nothing is the matter yet, because it's the team that gets to the first 4 victories first that is going to take home the tournament. So there's plenty of time and plenty of matches potentially left to go. So we have FBI getting ready with an E5 a Batchat, an E50M, 2 215Bs, a T22 and a 140. And they're going to go up against a Mouse, 2 215Bs, a T22 medium, a 2 263s, and a Patton. That is a very different lineup as well. Curious to see what is going on and how this is gonna go. So let's see what happens with it. The YOLO wagons can potentially do really well, but they are difficult to manage as well. And they don't have turrets, which in this case could potentially be very, very bad. But let's see what is gonna go on here. RTK again focusing on the C side. FBI aside from the Batchat doing the same thing. Let's see if we can get some nice high position again to show you as much as we're able on this side, because that's the... I'm stuck. That's the thing though, I want to show you all that's going on. That's also why I use a bird's eye view a lot of the times. First damage happening on both sides. Killer Tomato moving to the side to get some shots in, but he is in a tricky position there, potentially overextending. Massive being massively shot. One Mo wanting to move in. Zerd losing HP, he's alone there. If they're gonna push, they need to push together, and they need to push aggressively together. But they're not sure what Gassio is doing here. He's basically going YOLO. They need to be very careful. Zerd is almost gone. Tomato is not looking too healthy. There goes Spittyfour. There goes Turkur. Tomato is still alive. Don't ask how. Borgur Zerd finally dies, but no idea how he survived that long. Tomato needs to pull back and needs to stay as healthy as he can. Massive is not going to survive much longer. The Batchat is behind him, but he's still alive. Tomato finally died. The mouse needs help but is not getting any. Massive is just helping his teammates even though he knows he's gonna be dying soon. It is 4 versus 4. They need to kill. They need to take the guns out of the equation. Taco getting hit here. The Batchat arriving. Batchat has been proven to be very dangerous here. And basically they're all in different directions, and whereas FBI is shooting the same target, they need to work together here. They need to take out the T-22. They're actually getting in each other's way. 263, as long as the Patton is alive, he has a chance. But now with the Patton, well, the Batchat is on the reload, so that could potentially work out in their favor. Maybe they can pincer him and keep him from running away. Ooh, that's an expensive. But now he's gonna get... There we go. And Mo carries it home. Well done, Mo. Look at you with your fancy camo. Ooh. Again, a very close call and a very aggressive push by RTK, but in this case, it worked. I think that maybe FBI overextended into Zerd, which allowed RTK to use the rest of the team. And of course, the reload of the Batchat having to wait before he could kill Massive, and Massive still getting some damage in. That definitely made a difference. So now it's 2-2. We are moving on to Normandy. And this is looking to be very promising. I'm liking these matches. It is close. It is rushing and chaos, but it's close. And we see RTK getting ready in 2 215Bs, 3 E50Ms, a T22 medium, and potentially an IS-7 versus an E5, a T62A, 3 215Bs, a T22 medium, and an E50M. So let's see what's gonna happen here. Muffin, stop complaining in the chat. We all have bad games. It happens. You still made it to this stage, so just be proud of that. So let's see what's gonna happen here. This camera looks quite good on this map though. Thing is that I'm generally want to use very colorful camos, so I generally don't pay attention to whether it actually makes me more concealed or everything, because in normal battles it doesn't really matter, you just get added percentage. In this case, you just want to go up into the background. So we have RTK going towards the middle, we have FBI going towards base D. And I wonder what they're gonna do here, because this is a tactic we saw last time, where they're just getting the shots in the rear, and it can make all the difference because you get basically early HP advantage. Oh, Zerd though, look at this. There's little focus fire. They're shooting everyone. HP wise, there's not much difference between the two teams, and they need to start shooting the same target if they want to take out the guns, which is kind of important in this mode. Burger not looking too healthy, but Mo is the first one out of the equation. And this could be another failed push by RTK, where they're just too YOLO into it. Burger gone, Zerd gone. People dropping left and right. Wonderkind gone. Overall, it's all about the focus fire, and it looks like FBI has the better focus fire at this stage. Especially since they're not shooting the same target, which is not a good thing. Killer Tomato almost gone, there he goes. And it is 4 versus 3. Indigo arriving, Spitty 4 almost gone. But when you have so many guns happening, it makes all the difference. And again, they're not shooting the same target, they're not focusing on the low health target. They need to work together more. There goes Indigo. Gassio taking out 1, but now it's 1 versus 2. And it's very unlikely that Gassio is gonna make it. He needs to try and not show too much of himself, but he is losing HP here. And they need to... Ooh, that's in a very expensive bounce. No, this is definitely FBI's game. Especially when he's positioned like this. That's just, yeah. He's hugged by two of his teammates here. So that's definitely interesting. But this is like... RTK is like pushing and then stopping mid-push. And just like, yeah, let's not push. And half of the team is like, yeah, let's not push. And the other team is like, we were pushing, right? It's not really going as intended. And now the pressure is on... now the pressure is on RTK to win, because they need to win the next 2 games in order to take it home. Whereas FBI only needs to win 1 more to win the actual tournament. So let's have a look-see. Oh. We have FBI that has readied up in two E50Ms, a T62A, 3 215Bs and a T22 medium versus 3 E50Ms, 2 215Bs, a T22 and an E5. So similar but different lineups. And we'll see what's gonna happen with them. Let's have a look. I like that it's relatively close, but I would like it more if there was just YOLO action and just more, let's play this a little bit tactical even though it's realistic. But it just seems a bit YOLO. At the same time, when you only get some credits and premium days, you don't need to take this too seriously, and I think we see that back in the playstyle of all the teams we've seen so far. So let's see what's gonna happen here. FBI a lot more careful, not all rushing. You also see the skid marks of the plane that were already there before the plane actually crashed there. RTK again going towards the middle. But RTK, they're playing it a little bit different. Brokey is... There we go, first damage into Tomato there. They have a base, they are more careful. I'm not sure what's happening here. Zerd and Brokey just completely past each other. Ninja losing some HP there. Brokey is behind them. Zerd is gonna get pushed. He's gonna get absolutely wrecked there. He needs to be careful. Zerd is pulling back. They know Brokey is there now. And Taco in the middle. Zerd is gonna, like I said, Zerd is gonna get wrecked. They need to help him if they want him, but they need to be careful not to lose too much HP in doing so. Taco losing a lot of HP. If they keep shooting at the same target, they could potentially have this, but Zerd is the first one to go. Narrowly followed. Ninja is almost gone. He's the next on the list. Let's see what's gonna happen with that. There he goes. Killer Tomato not looking too healthy. Ooh, he narrowly survived that. But he's not gonna survive this. Both teams have lost 2 guns. 3 guns. It's going up relatively similar. But Shatap is actually holding quite nicely, using the corpse as cover. There he goes. It is 3 versus 3. Burger is barely alive, but they're ignoring him because they don't know where he is. And Massive is going into the side. There he goes. And they almost have Shatap. There's actually 2 Shataps, I've just noticed. But now it's 2 versus 1. RTK should have this. And let's see. Only 1 shot left. He does have a very pretty camo on the tank. And it's actually a ram kill by Mo. So now it is 3-3 and we get a tiebreaker. Oh my god. I can't really take these games all that seriously myself, to be fair. When you see how they go and it's just basically a cluster F. So we are going to Winter Malinovka again, a map we've seen quite a few times today. And we're going there for the tiebreaker that will decide who wins the whole tournament. And we see FBI and RTK still deciding what they're gonna take. The thing is that they've been on this map so many times today already. It might be difficult to try and find something that will work. FBI taking 3 215Bs, an E100, a T22 medium, an E50M, and a mouse. And they're going to go up against 3 E50Ms, a T22, a 215B, an E5, and an IS7. So somewhat less true armor, but potentially great potential in mobility and DPM. The true armor can make a massive difference though. So let's see what's gonna happen in this last match of the evening for the EU. Okay, I have to say that camo does look quite nice. I won't get it because it just looks like a lot of mud has been thrown on the tank, but yeah. So let's see what's gonna happen. I have no idea what they're talking about. I think it's Call of Duty. I have no idea. So we have RTK focusing on the A side. FBI hanging a bit in their spawn, doing a bit of both. And RTK grabbing an early point advantage by capping a base. But they're going to go down, and that is tricky because they're basically exposing all their weak parts to the guns of FBI there. Spittifour. And now we're gonna see some medium action potentially heading around. No one is looking at them. They could potentially get some nice shots in here. Oof, the E100 is looking at them though. And now they know that they're there. Ninja looking... Oof. That crossfire though, that is excellent. Excellent job by both. Oof, Killer Tomato. Not really killing, but being killed. There goes Ninja. He's the first one out, but HP wise, FBI has a massive advantage here. Just not gun wise. E100 is almost reloaded. Actually derps that shot. Zerd is almost, well, he's not yet the one shot, but it's going quite fast. They have to be careful here not to give away that gun advantage. Oof, Killer Tomato almost gone. And there he goes, crossing over. When you have that little HP, it's not a good thing. And there goes Wunderkind. Indigo losing quite a bit of HP as well. Destroyer Brokey has been gone. But we have a mouse there. Not sure what Indigo was doing here. Gassio not looking good. This is definitely going to be FBI's game. Even though one Mo will take out the mouse most likely. He's not going to survive that long. Gassio is gone. It's only Massive and Mo. And Mo is just taken out. So it's just Massive, and it's FBI that's going to take home this tournament. Nice little ram there. And there he goes. And FBI wins the game. Wins the tournament. Again, it's sort of like RTK pushes and then doesn't commit the right way. In this case, they were taking way too many chances. They were getting shots from everywhere and they didn't pull back. They just pushed into it. So, congratulations to FBI. Well done. It's definitely a first to see these kind of tournaments. I hope we get more tournaments like this that not necessarily realistic, but just a non-standard one. I really want to see Uprising and Mad Games tournaments because that would just be so much fun. So let's see how the other team ended. So here we have FBI first and RTK second, and on the other side we have Group 2, Mad Games better, Appa taking it home versus Dash. We saw them yesterday a few times. And Winsk, of course, taking it home for Group 3. Didn't expect anything else there. But against a very high stats clan as well. So well done. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you to all the players. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed commentating it. And basically that is it for tonight. I will be back later on in 5.5 hours. Oof. I will be back in 5.5 hours to stream the NA games as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. And like I said, Every is now also streaming tournaments, everything. His games ended, but definitely sub to his channel, watch the stream back, because it will be worth it. So, have a good night, everyone. Thank you all for watching, and I'll leave you with a little bit of a countdown music thing so to make sure that it doesn't cut off, because apparently it did that in Asia for some reason. So that is it for me tonight. I wish you all a good evening and a good night later on. And hopefully see you later tonight. Bye bye!
Seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. The seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into